Welcome back to The Naked Photographer. Today we're going to look at part 3 of our basic sensitometry series, and that is contrast index. So here we have the graph from before. This is the same graph we used for gamma. So it's plus x in D23, developed for 12 minutes. So we got a gamma of 0.83 last time. This time we're going to figure contrast index. Now, a word about contrast index, it is different than gamma, which measured just the straight line portion of the curve. Now we're going to measure the straight line and the toe. So contrast index takes into consideration the toe of the curve. So to do that, we need to measure from different points. So what we're going to need is a straight edge of some kind. So this is just a short little 6-inch ruler. For those of you using metric, it's about 150 millimeters. So any sort of straight edge of that length should work for a piece of paper of this size. So we are going to take our pencil and we're just going to make a mark anywhere on the left edge. So we're going to line this up with the zero density down here in the corner. Now what we need to do is make a mark at 0.2 density from the first mark. So this is our 0, we'll mark that 0, and then we will count over 0.2. So on my chart, my paper, this is 0.1, this is 0.2, and this is 0.3, as we see here, and so on. So with the 0.2 mark here, this lined up to 0. I'm going to make a mark right here on my ruler. So this is 0.2. And with this in the same position, I'm now going to count over to 2.0 from this mark. So a total of 2.2. So that would be right here on my paper. It's 2.2. So that's where I'm going to go. So I'm going to line this up with the 0. I'm going to make sure this is lined up with the 0.2 as it should be. And I'm going to make a mark right here at 2.2. So now I have my 3 points. So we need to extend our base fog line here horizontally across. And I'm just going to draw a line from base fog, horizontally extending out. The idea is that we are going to line the 0 mark of our ruler with the base fog line here. And now we're going to manipulate the ruler until the 0.2 and the 2.2 intersect at 2 points on our line. Doesn't matter where, just anywhere on there. So let's work on that. Okay, looks like it is this line right here. So I have point A here and point B here. So these are the 2 points that I'm now going to use on the same math as our gamma. So we need, using the same formula, which I'll write again here, is density B minus density A divided by log EB minus log EA. This is our exposure, this is our density. So let's go ahead and see what those points are. So our density of B looks like it is at 1.76. So let's write that down. 1.76 minus density A, which is 0.4 0.46, 0.46, and we're going to divide that by the log exposure of each. So log exposure of B looks to be 2.61, 2.61 subtracted by 1.16. All right, so those are our points, and now we're going to do the math. Not going to try to do that in my head. 1.76 minus 0.46 equals 1.3, and we'll divide that. 2.61 minus 1.16, 1.45. So 1.3 divided by 1.45 equals 0.90. So that is my contrast index, 0.90, which is very high. I would say that I prefer to use contrast index over gamma. And the reason why I like that is because Kodak gives targets for contrast index. They do not give targets for gamma. I have no idea what gamma my film should be at for properly developed negative if I'm going to measure on a densitometer. I do, however, know what contrast index I should be, and that is for a negative that prints well on a 2 filter on a diffusion enlarger, I should have a contrast index of 0.56. So 0.9 clearly way too high. That's okay. As I said before, this was just some film I used a time that I found in the darkroom cookbook. Way too long. That's all right. I should go back and expose the film again and develop it differently to get a different contrast index. Now 0.56 is what they recommend for just about every film and every developer. It is not for everything. T-Max 400 is recommended at 0.60 for a contrast index, so a little bit higher contrast in T-Max developer. So this would be contrast index. It is a similar way to gamma as I said before. We would write this as contrast index equals 0.56. In my case, we are going to mark contrast index equals 0.90. So that is the slope of this film in D23 at 12 minutes. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer them. You can just reach out to me by message on YouTube through the comment system, or find me in the darkroom group on Facebook, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions if you don't quite understand this concept. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.